Good morning, students. Amanjit here. Today we are going to start the second semester, and in second semester first I will cover the civics portion. So under the civics, second chapter is in your syllabus, that is the union executive. So as in first chapter, in first term, in the first chapter we learned that the government has three organs. Main three organs were there. One is legislative, another one is executive, and the third one is judiciary. So in this chapter we will cover the second organ of the government, that is the union executive. As you know that the legislature, the function of legislature is to make law and to implement on that law, to complete that job that is done by the executive. So under the executive, different persons appointed, different persons are there under this branch. That persons put their decision into force. So first is president. After president, who perform the duties? Vice president, then prime minister, then council of minister, and then civil servant. So this is a name list. So we will cover one by one how president appointed, then what is the qualification to become a president. All these things we will discuss in this period. Clear? So first, that is president. Under the parliamentary form of government, president is a constitutional head. Clear? And he perform all the functions with the help of vice president and prime minister. Prime minister is a person who suggests president to perform all the functions. Clear? So president is also called the nominal head. Nominal head means all the functions performed by the president in his name only. Actual work done by the prime minister and the council of minister, and he is a person who sign all the works, and all the works are done by his name only, with his approval only. Clear? So first we will cover the qualification. What qualifications needed to become a president of India? If a person want to become a president of India, what thing is needed? So the first is a person should become a citizen of India. Citizen of India, that is a prior qualification. Clear? Then second is he or she should be at least 35 years of age. 35 years of age, that condition. Clear? Third is, first is citizen of India, person should be a citizen of India. Second is he or she, whoever want to become president of India, 35 years of age is necessary. Clear? Third, he or she should not hold any office of profit under the government of India. Not hold any office of profit. Clear? So these three necessary qualifications required to become a president of India. Clear? More are there, but in 8th standard we will discuss only the three. Clear? Next is how a person become the president. What is the procedure of election? Clear? Election procedure. Next step is election, how a person is elected. Clear? So the elected member of both the houses of parliament. Parliament has two houses. One is Rajya Sabha and another one is Lok Sabha. Clear? Two houses are there. So Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, the elected member of both the houses of parliament and the elected member of a legislative assembly. Legislative assembly. Clear? These two require. So elected member of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, both the member of parliament, and elected member of legislative assembly, they elect the president by casting their vote. So they have a right to cast the vote to elect the president of India. Clear? Clear? So first is qualification, three qualifications are written, then election, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha member, elected member as well as legislative elected member elect the president of India. Next is how long he remain his office for the job. Clear? So president can remain his office for the term of 5 years. 5 years is a term is given 5 years. So he remain his office till this time period to perform his duty. Clear? Or we can say that he can re-elected after the expiry of this term, after the 5 year. Again, the person is elected to become a president of India. Next topic is powers. Powers of president. Powers. Under the president, different categories of powers provided to the president of India. The first is executive power. Under the executive power, the president of India do the appointments of different ministers like prime minister, vice president, attorney general, then governors, judges of Supreme Court, High Court, Union Public Commissions. Clear? And all these appointments done by the president. So under the executive, first point is related to appointment. Under the appointment, we can write the different name of ministers like prime minister, then cabinet minister, then high court and Supreme Court judges, all these things. Clear? Then next is he is a supreme commander. He is a supreme commander of armed forces. Supreme commander. So he is the one who is the supreme commander of armed forces. 3 forces are there: Air Force, Navy and Army. So he is the commander who command all these forces. Clear? Then all the contracts and treaties, means treaties whatever signed by India as well as with other foreign countries, that treaties signed with the name of president only. Clear? So president sign different type of treaties made with different countries. Clear? So that is the executive powers of the president. Clear? Now next we will do the next power of president, that is legislative power. First is executive. Under the executive, appointments come as well as the supreme commander of the armed forces. Now we come to the legislative powers. Under the legislative powers, the president is a person who has a power to dissolve the parliament, to dissolve, or you can say that to summon the parliament, or he is a person who can call the joint sitting of both the houses of parliament. First is he can call joint sitting of which parliament? Clear? Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both. So he is a legislative power of president. Second is related to nomination. So he is a person who nominate 12 members to the Rajya Sabha. As we learn in previous chapter, in first chapter, that how the Rajya Sabha members elected or not. So in that we learned that president has a power to nominate 12 members. 12 members nominated by him. Clear? Then third legislative power is that no bill can be passed by the approval of a president. Means if that is a procedure that once a bill is passed, it goes for reading. First reading to Rajya Sabha, after that Lok Sabha, then for third reading, first, second and third, and after that reading, without the approval of president, it cannot be passed. It become a law only by the approval of a president. So bill become law by his approval. Clear? So that is also the legislative power of president. Next is the president address the two houses jointly, as he called the joint sitting of parliament. So he is a person who can address also. So he can address the parliament. So these are the legislative powers of the president. Now next is judicial powers. First is executive. Under the executive, appointments. Second is legislative. Under the legislative, we can learn the bills as well as law, as well as the nomination of members. Then judicial powers. Judicial powers. Judicial powers of the president. So judicial power, under the judicial power, he is not answerable to any law court for exercise of his powers, whatever the functions performed by him, he is not answerable to any court of law. Only in case of impeachment. Impeachment means if he is not doing his work according to the constitution, according to the rules, regulation, then impeachment can impose by the parliament to him, and after the inquiry only that person is answerable to that. Yeah, but he is not answerable to any law court. Then second is not answerable. Then second point, under the judicial power, we can learn that he can pardon, remit or suspend. Pardon, remit or suspend a person who has given a sentence of punishment to a death. Here, so he has a power to pardon a person who is committed crime. Pardon, remit and clear. Pardon, remit and suspend a person. Clear. So these are the powers of judicial powers of president. Now next is emergency power. Emergency power. Different type of powers are there. So under the emergency power, first is the security of India. If the security of India is threatened by any external outsiders, rebellions, means if any attack were there, so during that time the security of India is threatened, emergency can be declared by the president only. So he is able to declare emergency power. So the different conditions are there only in case of external threat. Then second is if financial stability of the country is threatened, means if financially we are not our financial position is not okay, then only that during that time also a president can declare the emergency, financial emergency in the country. So these two emergencies were there. Clear. One is related to threatened by externals boundaries. Clear. And another one is financial emergency. So in these cases only the emergency can declare by the president. So five powers learned by us. One is executive, another one is legislative, then judicial, financial and emergency power. So at least three points of each powers we have to learn it. Thank you.